um, idea what is under which before we discuss about that, or before I maybe before I answer that. Anyone with any idea of what is under what? Is AI under machine learning, or is machine learning under AI?
Maybe I can just contribute to that.
Yes, Victor, thank you.
I'm not an AI expert, but
Mhm.
my understanding is that AI uses machine learning. Machine learning is a large language model. That's what I understand. So, machine learning, AI uses machine learning to to operate. That's my understanding.
Yes, Habas Cook, I've seen you have a suggestion. Do you mind unmuting yourself? Habas Kuku, okay. And also, Jala, do you have any point? What do you think? What do you think about that? Oh, Maggie, yes, Maggie Williams. Williams, you have raised your hand. Do you have any point? Or maybe you just raised your hand by mistake. Personally, I would say that AI is under machine learning. You have to train this kind of data, train this kind of data, all this kind of data, and then you'll be able to produce this AI product. So I would say that AI is under machine learning personally. So I think that because you have to use machine learning to train all these data, to train all these algorithms and all those things, so that we can produce a meaningful output. And the output basically is the complete version, that is the AI building these AI tools. Because of course you can't just build an AI without data, without training that kind of data, what to do, when to do maybe a certain thing, all those things. So I think that AI is under machine learning. So we have to train data, and then we have to come up with products like AI and all those other prediction software and all those other things. Maybe we can think of something like the GPT and how it suggests code. Do you think it's just something that came up and then they built this thing? That means they trained a large models of data, and then after training this data, then they were able now to give us the AI tool that we are currently using. Yes, Odiambo.
So when we are talking about
Mhm.
machine learning is a subset of AI.
Yeah,
AI is the broader field. So
yeah.
inside the AI is where machine learning comes to see.
Yeah. Um, anyone else with it, maybe another different suggestion, or what they think, or from the research that they have done, what they think, which one is, or which is which. Yes, Judith Akini.
I I have a question.
Mhm.
Can animals like especially livestock, cows or chicken, can they be taught to use machine learning?
Someone, someone to answer that, or what do you think? According to the behavior that we know, the animals, how animals behave, do you think they can learn all these things? Do you think they can?
Or even dogs, the dogs that are being trained maybe to smell the bombs or things like that, can they be taught using machine learning?
Collins, what do you think?
Mine, I just need a clarification whereby by saying that dogs can be taught to smell bombs in machine learning, under which context? does she want to understand whereby animals can be taught machine learning? What is machine learning? And under which context does she want to understand that?
Yeah, maybe if I talk about maybe uh, dairy animals, they know they are usually being milked using machines. So can they be taught to be able to respond, to be ready, maybe when the exact time for milking reaches, they line up and they become receptive to the milking machines. Or maybe the dogs, if they do the task of, if they do a good task of maybe detecting a bomb, is can they use computers to teach them how to do these tasks? That's what I'm asking.
You see, we having different knowledges when it comes to human being and animals. By saying that you can teach an animal machine learning, it's impossible, close to impossible. It's only a behavior that they can adapt, but you can't teach them.
Oh, okay, okay. I think unless now we remove their brains and then we we add a microchip on them, that the microchip that has been trained, I think we can't just teach them, but we can just teach them how to behave on certain conditions, or how to behave on when they get this kind of smell or this kind of feelings. We can just train uh, them on what to behave. I think that's it's a behavior kind of thing. Then that means if we we remove their brains and maybe from what our friend is saying, they will be like robots. But again, this thing has life, so we can't just categorize it as a robot. So just remove the brain. For example, is this a was it chimpanzee or was it that we had the brain chip from where? Is it from Tesla? The Elon Musk company, the way they trained the chimpanzee and the chimpanzee was able to play games when they removed the chimpanzee's brain. I think for now, very impossible maybe to train this animal to certain conditions or to behave in certain ways, but we can just train them the basic behaviors with time. And have you, when it comes to software development, guys, have you been able to maybe integrate things like the copilot? The maybe for example, we have this tool we call it. I just discovered it the other day. That is the Amazon Q tips, all those intelligence things that they help you write code. Have you been able to maybe use them? And what do you think of them? Yes, Victor Karaoke.
Yeah, actually, I was looking for that discussion. Yeah, I've been able to use Code AI and also Blackbox, but then I wanted to inquire
Mhm.
how reliable are these AIs before we begin using them? Because you find that yes, they'll give you they'll be able to autocomplete a code for you, but when you go to run it, something doesn't add up, and you have to now go back and search everything. So how reliable are the AIs? Is it okay? I understand that they can't replace the whole coding process. But yeah, basically the question is how reliable are they, and can we trust them to do the job?
Adacha, do you have any point on that? I've seen you have raised your hand.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just want to make my point clear on why I say machine learning is other higher.
Mhm,
Artificial intelligence is just a branch of computer science
mhm,
that have to do with the intelligent agent, which is now the system that
mhm,
can learn,
mhm,
reason, and act anonymously.
mhm,
AI can has to do with the theory and the method on how to build machine learning.
mhm,
And in this discipline, we have now machine learning, which is a subfield of artificial intelligence.
mhm,
For example, a very good example is our smartphone.
mhm,
If you order every time you type something,
Mm-hmm.
it already suggesting for you the next word or what word you have to type. By that is learning, which means it's machine learning, which is now under artificial intelligence, using artificial intelligence now to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you correct that word, doesn't matter whether it's in your native language, now it will create now machine learning, which is now under artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time we use it without even noticing that where is artificial
Mm-hmm.
intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that's a nice one. Thank you for clarifying that to us. And you can just do research on everything, and we can maybe go to our friend's question: how reliable are these AI softwares? Anyone who has been able to successfully use your AI softwares, and maybe they were so productive in them? Anyone who can testify that these AI products are what they use in them?
For me, I normally use ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
but for it will just give me a procedure on how to complete a certain task.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to know what to do and when it is wrong. And if you don't know whether here it is reasonable, good, so you cannot really be productive. But you also have to understand what you are looking for and how to question it. And
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, you have to give it a persona. It have to act in the form of a person. And you also have to give it how you want the result to be, like in which format, the format, and also the language, is it informative or is it formative?
Mm-hmm.
And also the English is have to use, is it the simple English or is it the technical one? So
Mm-hmm.
but it can make your work easier because it give you all the procedure. If you give it now,
Mm-hmm.
give it a very good prompt, yeah, then
Mm-hmm.
it will be productive. But you still have to
Mm-hmm.
understand what you're doing.
Solomon.
Hello. Yeah, yeah. Personally, I've been using AI since 2020.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was the type who take just a statement, copy
Mm-hmm.
it, paste it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm expecting a result.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that, but then at some point, there's this test we did. It's a time series. I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I submitted it to my professor. You know, he told me what?
Mm-hmm.
Everything you presented to me,
Mm-hmm.
you are not the first one. So, I mean, like almost people before you have been presenting this type of job. So at that time, I didn't realize what he's trying to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I kept doing it with other units, but as I went and just understood the basic concept of the everything, then now,
Mm-hmm.
but the other units I continue doing. So after some time down the line, I came to realize AI only works if you understand what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what you are doing, AI will make it worse. Like you're trying to maybe write a code about maybe something so basic.
Mm-hmm.
It's better you understand the basic, like I need this after the you know the step, the key steps. In that you now use AI to complement what you know because AI already has too much information. And sometimes I try it, I just take like 300 lines of code and put it there. It gives me a totally different response compared to when I break it down based on how I understand and I summarize this. I want how you to give me the solution. So I find AI to be both good and bad. It's only now the user, it's you. You need to now just be clear and like understand this the problem. I'm expecting this type of result and not just rely on it for everything. Otherwise, you'll just take a longer time to do a project that you will have done in less time while doing using your own research and brain. So yeah, 50-50 for me. AI, it's not sure bet. Still, it can boost if you understand your problem well.
So, on my side, I think AI tools are very uh, productive on my side. For example, we have maybe you are thinking about a logic in software development. Then this logic is not clear on your mind. Or again, this logic is somehow clear, but the approach in which you are going to maybe create this software, it's not yet clear. Then you have to, or you can just prompt the AI. very well. All these things depends with the how you prompt the AI. If you prompt the AI so well, then that means it's going to give you the desired output. Now it's up to you now to know this desired output, now how to integrate it in your software, how to use it, where to use it, when to use that code that has been generated by AI. All that. I think for me personally, I've been productive with using these AI tools, especially GPT, and also what do we call this other AI? That is Gemini, and also I've been using Blackbox to create some things or to get things maybe that AI maybe it's not understanding or it's not trying to understand my question. I can just prompt Blackbox and then it's able to produce my desired output. Now it's up to me to know where to use that or how to change that code it has provided to what I need to achieve. So AI tools are very productive, but again, you also have to be careful on how to on when to use them. For example, for a programmer, maybe if you understand software, or if you understand the syntax and all what the code is doing, then you can just go ahead and then use AI. But if at some point you don't understand what the code is doing, first try to learn the code and then you can just move to using AI. Just learn what this code does, how to write simple things like functions, how functions work, the logics behind parameters, so that now when you prompt the AI and then it gives you the results, then you are not confused. This is magic. This is what and what's not. So you just need to be careful on how you use the AI. And for example, maybe you are using GPT or the Chat GPT, and you are not being able to produce the desired output. Then you can just decide to go for Copilot. Copilot maybe will understand your code, whatever you are trying to. So it does this. It checks your previous code and whatever you are trying to achieve. Then it can suggest you the next step that you need to or you want to take. It can create all those things. Now it's up to you. Maybe if you accept the changes, then you can just prompt it. You can just tab it, whatever you want to do. Just give that code it suggests, and then you just change it to yeah. So I think AI has done a lot for us in software development. And then again, I have a question. Maybe our friend James, Abbas, Kuku, um, maybe do you think that AI is going to take the software development jobs? What do you think, according to you? Yes, yes, Endaja.
No, no, no way. There's no way any artificial intelligence is going to understand the human, what the human need.
Why? And we have Copilot that is writing the code for
Yes,
me.
but it still doesn't know what people really need. What software do they need? What problem do they have? If it's
Mm-hmm.
the understand that, then it will. But no, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to make it our work easier, but there's no way it's going to replace artificial intelligence. I mean, software development. I mean, develop.
But this AI that was advertised some days ago. That is the what do we call it? That writes the
Yeah,
code.
but it's also using data, right? Everything it's doing is have to use data.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot read people's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Without if the data are biased, then it will also be biased. If the data is correct, then it's also be
Mm-hmm.
correct. But it's also have to depend on the data it has been trained. If
Mm-hmm.
it's trained with the data using American, there's no way it's going to understand problems which are occurring in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand most of the data in Africa are not well documented. So it cannot, to me, there's no way. It's just like when a computer was introduced, it never replaced people, it just create more jobs for people.
Mm.
That's all.
Yes, Collins, and then we go to Kamau.
Okay, personally, I think it's not going to replace people because the code that is it's inputting out is the same code that humans can input it. So in a way, it's only saving time and making the work easier for you not to overthink, or for you to have it to see like the software engineering is more simple. That's according to my understanding, rather than thinking it's a hard task or it's a tedious job.
Yes, Kamal, what do you think, Jeroge Harrison?
Okay. On the issue of AI replacing us as engineers, I don't think that's something which is going to happen anytime soon. Bearing in mind that for you to use AI, you must have some background knowledge about software engineering. As you have said before, in order to use AI tools such as GitHub Copilot, you must have written some code before so that it sees you had done this, you are trying to do something else. So you cannot just tell it to like, I want to do this. Can you like write the whole code for me for building an application? So you must have some like background knowledge or some skills in software development in order to make these AI tools more productive. So I think they are just going to increase our productivity, but not replacing us anytime soon.
Oh, wow. Abbas, you have raised your hand.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can get you.
Okay. My opinion is that AI it is not going to replace our jobs as soon as possible, as Njoroge said, because AI it used a data which is in the database, and that database it has been trained by some experts. Then it just retrieves data from the database. So let's say if people stopped training AI, then it is just going to rely on the data which is already in the database, of which whatever is happening currently, or whatever that will happen after the database which has been input, after the data which has been input in the database, it will not know about it. But I'm also afraid that AI at some point will come and take over most of the job, because if we look at it now, it is making work most of our work, like it is very easy, and you can a work that can be done maybe in hours, it can be done maybe in a second or in a minute. So what is there as software engineers, we need to align our skills, we need to be up to date with the skills, train ourselves, we gain a lot of knowledge, so that in the long run we should not compete, because that's if AI is using the mind of people who are experts, and then if we have a collective experts and they trained AI with a lot of data, then definitely AI will going to outdo us. So otherwise, let's just align our skills every now and then, so that we don't compete with AI.
Yes, Willie, I've seen you have raised your hand.
I think AI actually it's not it will not actually take the software engineering jobs any soon. Reason is being because um, lately we've seen the Devin, the software engineer, which is an AI, but actually it was deemed to be fake software engineer, which it could not complete tasks within the time that it was actually meant, like that it was exaggerated that it's working and it's doing everything. Because okay, for me, I started my career first as a data scientist back in 2022, and actually training AI models to understand like the working with the database itself, like just all those tasks, and coming up with a very flexible and fully fledged website. It is something it's not easy. It cannot be covered within this period of time that we are software engineers. Maybe the future software engineer, maybe our kids or what, they're the ones who face that thing, but they will not really face it. the thing with the AI actually is AI is complementing what we are trying to do. It's making work easier for those who already have technical know-how of software engineering. That is the only thing that AI will bring in. So let's say, for example, somebody who does not know exactly like what software engineering is, you cannot use AI actually to make maybe very good software or what. So the only thing that we need for us is to grasp the skill very well, and we use that AI. This is where AI comes in. Like you have a project and you need to work on it within a certain period of time. You have actually to consider, like how the structure or the UI and UX of your application, how it looks like. You can instruct AI like I need the navigation bar, and then from there it gives you the code for the navigation bar. And already for you, you know how to write that code. But the use of AI in our software now is to make the work fast, so that you can just extract that code and then place it there. Like, you just ship codes and you'll be able to modify them in order to fit your needs. So I think that is it. So AI actually cannot take roles, the software engineering roles, as soon as we think. But yeah, I think it's something. It will take time, because if you can see, because I've seen the the Boston robot. The Boston robot actually it was started to be invented some time back in 19 when the artificial intelligence started, and actually it has taken time for it to learn a lot of moves, just simple moves, and it has really taken time, many years, even before, like, because I just saw the history. By that time, I was not even born, and right now, like, I'm like an adult, and I can still see the Boston robot is still making some moves. It has not learned a lot of stuff. So all we need to understand is just like this AI is trying. We can see it is disrupting the entire space of tech, but actually it is not it's not the exact thing. It is just trying to complement and help us to fasten our tasks and roles in software engineering. I think that is just what we need to accept. And at some point, you should not be afraid of. You should always be prepared for anything that happens. That does not mean like we have to change our roles, like our career path. Let's stick on in software engineering, and the best thing for you is just grasp the concept, have it very well, and everything will be fine with it. And then another thing is the models actually they have this limitation. The models cannot think beyond what it has been trained to do. Only that. But human brain, it has a capacity of thinking beyond what AI models can think. That's what we need to understand. Thank you, guys.
Oh wow. I've seen who's this? Okan said Owino. Do you have any point? Maybe to add.
Yes, morning, Evans and everyone.
I'm on into you.
Yeah, everyone saying AI is not taking our roles. Maybe in the near future, like it's not only taking our role currently on sooner, but ultimately, according to what I'm hearing, it will take. Uh, that's what I wanted to talk about. I think in that perspective, that suggesting that maybe the coming generation after us, the generation that will be following after us, will be affected by the AI models, which I don't think is true. It's kind of what we are saying uh, today, because we have machines. Now, machines have replaced humans in those institutional or factories that we are working and developing kind of things. I don't think AI is going to replace the role that is played by the software engineer, because if you see